Welcome to Lake TV's Community Spotlight Show. It's presented by the great folks at COMC, Central Ozarks Medical Center, where your health is their mission. And we've got a couple of special shootout people with us here, Hall of Famers. It is the Dorhauers, right? Okay, so they got into the Hall of Fame, the Shootout Hall of Fame, different times, different years for different reasons. So you're both in there on your own rewards, right? Okay, so it's Jeff and Diana, by the way. So thank you guys for taking the time to come and join us here on the show as we get ready for another shootout season. I was telling you before the show, I've heard about you guys for years and I've never gotten the chance to meet you until now.
Well, it's a pleasure meeting you, and thanks for doing this for the event.
Thanks for everything you guys do for the shootout. I think you guys first moved to the lake in 1989?
That's correct.
And I think that was the first year of the shootout, wasn't it?
That is correct also.
Wow. It's like it was meant to be or something, right?
Yeah.
Were you involved in that first shootout? Did you jump in? You
Yes.
were, okay.
Yeah.
What did you do back then?
I was on a patrol boat,
Okay.
out taking care of the line, keeping the spectators away from the race course itself.
Right, okay. So year one, you're right there. Has it changed a little bit from year one to what it is now?
Oh, it has.
A little bit.
Year one, and in fact, the first 9 or 10 years, they used to make their pass down the course, turn around and make a second pass going the way they just came.
Oh, really?
They did.
Oh, wow.
Saturdays never counted for speed. That was, dial your boat in day, and Sundays counted for speed.
Okay.
And that really helped keep the event and the racers there for the entire weekend.
Absolutely, yeah. You get a big speed on Saturday, might as well go home, right? Or spend too much time in the bar Saturday night or something like that. So if you've heard the name Jeff Dorhauer before, it's because you were the fire chief.
Yes.
For a long time, right?
I was a firefighter for 30 years, and a chief for 13 of those.
Okay.
In Osage Beach.
And when you're chief, your name gets in the paper and, people kind of know who you are. You joke that people knew you as his wife, right?
That's true.
You were Jeff Dorhauer's wife back in those days. You weren't who you were. So you guys went in the Hall of Fame different years. What year did you go in?
The second year. I don't know what
That would
year
have
we
been
started.
90 probably? Or the second year of the Hall of Fame?
Of the Hall of Fame.
Okay.
Yes, second year of the Hall of Fame.
And you went in
He went in the first year.
Okay, the first year. Oh, you were like the first year bunch.
Yeah.
That's pretty important right there when you're on the ground floor. Was it a surprise when you got the news? Mm-hmm. It was?
Of course, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How did you react when you found out?
Well, I thought it was an honor just because it was new. It's something that whenever the race moved to Captain Ron's, we decided to, I don't really know how that all came about, but I thought it was great for honoring people. Like when he got in the first year, he wasn't involved anymore when they moved it because it was out of his district.
Right, yeah.
So it's a pretty big deal now. Like people lobby to get in and there's a whole big thing, but we have a process now where you nominate, and I have a team that we're actually the Hall of Fame team that we go over all the nominations.
Are you on that team?
Yes, it's me and Jason Johnson with Speed on the Water magazine.
Yeah.
And Myrick Coyle.
Okay.
The three of us, we kind of put them in order of what we think best describes someone who is.
And they lobby you to get in, I'm guessing.
Well, yeah,
right?
I mean, they send their nominations in. We have a whole form now. It's a much better system, I feel like.
Yeah.
And then we have a team of different people who are involved in different ways that know, like Myrick obviously knows all the racers, and Jason's been with Powerboat magazine, and so he's been around for a while, and I think it's a really good team.
It sounds like it, yeah. It's amazing that both of you guys were kind of on the ground floor of the Hall of Fame getting in, and it says quite a bit for you guys. And I hear you're in a different Hall of Fame too.
I am.
Not just the Shootout Hall of Fame. What's the other Hall of Fame?
High school sports.
Really?
Yeah.
For what?
I think it was basketball, but maybe track. I don't remember.
Maybe both.
I should have brought the book and we could have looked at it.
So you were a great athlete in high school. Wow. Where was this at?
I went to Valley. It's Valley Catholic now in St. Genevieve.
Okay, St. Genevieve.
Yeah.
There you go. So, man, you're a Hall of Fame behind her, man.
I am.
Got to catch up.
How cool is that, though? That's pretty neat. Those first few years of Shootout, you were telling us they'd race up one way and then they'd race back the way they came. Much different now. Was it better that way, or is it better now with what it has evolved into? It's so much bigger.
I think it's different, simply because it is so much bigger. If you want to get enough passes in the limited time on those 2 days, considering you now have PWCs, you now have a regatta run, not a regatta, but
They do the kilo runs.
Kilo run.
Yeah, the kilos.
Which are very different from what
are.
the rest of the Shootout is.
they are. So if you want to get all the boats that are now coming compared to what we had in the past, you know, you had to go to both days in only one way
Yeah.
and shut down.
Did you have any idea in the early years it could grow into what it is now? Was that a vision?
I don't think so. I remember the firefighters would sit after every event on Sunday night and say, "This is the last year. We're not
No
doing
more.
this
That's
again."
it. I'm done.
But once we brought Budweiser on and Powerboat Magazine, that's when it really started going from a Midwest thing to a national, and in some cases, like with Ken Warby, international.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's that big. I mean, it is. People know the Shootout, the Lake of the Ozarks Shootout, all over the world. I mean,
do.
like here on Lake TV, we get people all over the world watching the races because they've heard of the Lake of the Ozarks Shootout. It's pretty amazing. Okay, so we're going to continue to talk with Jeff and Diana Dorhauer about the Shootout and the ins and outs and ups and downs and all that stuff. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with the Lake TV Community Spotlight Show. At COMC, your health is our mission. Central Ozarks Medical Center offers 3 OBGYNs at the Osage Beach Clinic and 2 pediatricians with same-day appointments available. At COMC, our doors are open to everyone with 5 primary care locations conveniently located across the Ozarks. COMC for the best medical, dental, and behavioral health care. Get more info on how COMC can help you at centralozarks.org. COMC, where your health is our mission. If you love the lake, you gotta love Lake TV. Welcome back to Lake TV's Community Spotlight Show. We're talking with a couple Hall of Famers, Jeff and Diana Dorhauer, and they've been working the Shootout from the first year, right? You moved here the first year of the Shootout. You didn't move here because of the Shootout.
No.
But you just happened to be here the first year of the Shootout, and the rest, as they say, is history. They're both in the Hall of Fame for different reasons on their own merits. I saw pictures of your kids. You guys have to be so proud of your children and what they've turned into, right?
Absolutely.
What is going on with them? Tell us about your kids.
Go ahead, babe.
Our son, Jeffrey, is a ER physician in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan.
Burr.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it's a little bit cold. And our daughter is an architectural designer, and she lives in St. Louis.
Proud mom and dad?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
Exactly.
Says a lot for the way you raised them, I'm guessing.
And this was a great place to raise them. Like, I think they had a great education and a great life here, and they've both moved on too far.
That's
okay.
Too far away.
Far
One
away.
of the things most of us love about the lake, though, is it's still got that rural feel to
Exactly.
it, you know, the small town thing. So the Shootout started, the way I understand it anyway, originally to help firefighters.
Actually, no.
No?
It started as a bragging rights event.
Okay.
In the first 4 or so years, they'd pick a different charity every year.
Oh, okay.
So it was a group of people who would cove out together that would brag on what my boat can go faster than yours. So they wanted to provide a safe way and order to prove who actually had the fastest boat.
How great is that?
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. So, and then it was just, since we're doing this, we raise a little bit of money, let's find somebody to give it to.
Exactly. And then about year 5, I think it was, they donated it to the fire department.
Okay.
And it wasn't too long after that that the fire departments actually took ownership of the event.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
We had a great relationship with all the different owners of Shooters 21 who would let us take over their facility for a weekend.
Yeah.
And it just went from there. And ever since, fire departments have played they've always played a major role, but they've been a major beneficiary
Yeah.
of what the event brings in.
I love hearing the stories of how things get started like that. And a lot of times it's that innocent. We were coving out, we got to arguing about who had the fastest boat. That's the way the shootout started, that's pretty amazing. And you guys own a boat that has some shootout history.
It does, and not many people know this.
Okay.
We own a 1988 Webcraft Concorde 30.
Okay.
And that boat used to be driven to set the radar gun before the shootout when it was over at Shooters 21.
Really? Wow. An 88.
Yes, it's a beautiful boat too.
Oh my gosh. Does it take a little work to maintain it? Can you still find the parts for that baby?
Yeah, they're carbureted motors, twin 454s, which is a pretty popular
Twin
motor.
454s. That baby can get up and go.
It can. It's a very heavy boat, but it can move.
Wow, I guess so. If you're setting the radar clock by it, I'm guessing it could go. One of the things you've been involved in, I think, for a long time is the registration team.
Yeah.
Is that right? Yeah. What does the registration team do?
Well, if you're going to race, you have to come see us and fill out your paperwork, and there's a liability waiver for insurance, and then you accompany the inspector down to your boat, and they decide what class you're going to be in based on all of the specs of your boat. And then I put all that information in the computer. I have a couple gals that do all of the other data entry. We ask for a little bit of a history. Some people, Brad Harrington writes novel, but that's because they want something to talk about while they're racing, our production company. So yeah, we handle all of the innards of the computer programming and all the information.
And it's stuff like that most of us don't think about. We're just sitting there watching the races on Lake TV, but we don't think about everything that went into getting that boat to be out, on the water to race.
Yeah.
And to put it in a certain class. And there's like a billion different classes.
Yeah, that's expanded many, many times over through the years.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you've got a team of inspectors that have to go down, look at the boat, decide what it's in, and that's a big team you got going there.
Yeah. Ed Grimm is my head inspector, and he just got put in the Hall of Fame this year, or he'll be inducted this year.
Wow.
Yeah, he works hard. He brings guys that know what they're doing, sometimes gals, but they all know what they're doing. I don't know anything about that. My team just does computers, and we radios and take your money and put all the stuff in, and then they do all that.
Everybody's got their role, baby.
That's correct.
That's the way it goes.
And if you look at change throughout the years, registration has probably evolved more than anything else.
It used to be a triplicate form, and they would fold it on a table like this, and if the boat was coming up, he'd have to find it. It'd be in alphabetical order. Now it's all computerized.
Yeah, and we did inspection one year, which is funny because neither of us are gearheads.
Right, yeah.
But we would take a yellow sheet of paper, write their class on it, and tape it on the front of the boat, and that's how we identified each
The
boat.
duct tape.
Wow. But that's everything has to start that way, and then you just kind of have to evolve and look at what it's turned into now.
Yeah.
Before we go, I want to let everybody know, though, Jeff was named one of the top 10 unsung heroes in power boating, right? What kind of an honor is that?
That really took me aback.
Wow.
It's not equal to her second Hall of Fame.
Right. Well, I don't know. It's pretty close.
But yeah, that was humbling. And really, it takes so many people to pull this event off, even back then, that any one of them could have carried that with them. And so I carry it for all of them.
Absolutely. We got to have you guys back on because there's so much to talk about with
Would
you
love
guys.
to.
Yes.
So it's Jeff and Diana Dorhauer, Hall of Famers in the shootout, and thank you guys for coming by. Appreciate it very much.
Thank you.
We'll have you back because
Okay.
we've got more to talk about. Thank you for joining us for Lake TV's Community Spotlight Show.